Hello, true art believers. This is Pearson here, and I just want to say that we're doing something a little bit new today. As you can see, I'm making some upgrades. I'm starting to have a little bitty black wall, so you don't see like the back of my room, so it doesn't like this person's just doing weird videos in his office, in his room, just doing weird stuff. I know we don't have any viewers, but that's fine. I have enough viewers of friends and family just viewing this and make it chuckle, and I can talk about it when I go to my college. I talk about how I have a YouTube station. They all like say, "Whatever, you're a silly teacher, you." Anyways, today we're doing something different. I know that normally I do a little live stream, kind of showing you my process of what I'm working with, like what I'm doing with my digital works and my portraits. But today we have Limor Dekel, and you can tell me if I mispronounce it. And she is a fine artist, and we're just going to start off and let her talk about her work and then see what happens. So Limor, what piece are you working on right now? I see you have a piece right there with a lady dancing and a
Yeah,
dude with a guitar.
yeah. So it's work about the flamenco dance, and I've been doing some work that relates to music recently. And I was also a dancer myself. My daughter dances too. She's in medical school right now, but she dances a lot. So, and my husband is a musician. So, not in his real job, but as more of like a serious hobby. So I'm exposed to a lot of music in my life. So before that, I did another one that also integrates landscape and a cello. So I draw my ideas from my life, and I kind of mix and match different elements, different people and things in my life into the work. So it's not, it looks realistic, but I'm sort of reinventing reality because this started as I wanted to create actually an animal, an ibex in here in the desert. I grew up in Israel, so I like the desert, and I have a lot of things that relate to that place. And then I decided, nah, that's kind of boring. Let's put something else. So I got a friend of my daughter who's a cellist. I asked him to send me a picture and incorporated him into this landscape. So um,
What kind of animal was in that?
there's no animal. It's a
Oh, then you said you had an animal in there,
No, I was going to do an animal. That
like a
was the
panda.
original idea. And then I decided, now I'm going to put the cellist instead.
Okay.
So no animal.
All right, what is that? Is that acrylic or oil?
That is that is acrylic on canvas,
Okay.
and it's a what do you call it? Like gallery style. So
Yeah. Gallery straps, gallery wrapped.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, gallery wrap. So it's painted around the side.
Yeah.
Uh,
You want gallery wrap. If you get the ones that are stapled on the sides, well, they're ugly looking. They're like, and the a lot of people don't like them. They're
yeah.
not as durable, and they
No,
it's just
I
better to
don't
have it
staple on
wrapped
the side. They're
around.
always stapled in the back.
Oh, you stretch your own canvases?
I stretch my own canvas.
Oh, I could tell by the back.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
How long
So
does it take for you to paint one of those?
that's a good question. Sometimes I get stuck and I just put it away and start something else. This one took me a while because I had to reimagine a lot of things. I had to reimagine this whole place. I did have a picture of the cellist, but this whole level here in the rock, I had to reimagine. So, yeah. So I don't know, took me maybe 10, 15 hours.
10, 15 hours?
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
pretty fast painting, wouldn't you say?
Well, the way I approach painting, I don't do a lot of sketching. I mean, I started, as a drawing in high school, and then I was a ceramic artist. So
Hmm.
3D is what I'm comfortable with. So I did a lot of drawing, but at this point, when I'm just painting, I just kind of go at it, and that's why I'm doing acrylic because acrylic lends itself to do this. So I just kind of attack the canvas. After I stretch it, I just put a color as a ground, and I just start putting in the different elements in there.
You take a
So,
battle axe to it.
uh, a what?
You take a battle axe to your painting. You go, ha!
Yeah, kind of like that.
Do
So
you put?
yes, I started. I don't like the white. I just cover it all up. I mean, this one I think was maybe blue underneath or red. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
And then I just kind of build it up in layers.
Okay.
So that's what I did with that one. And with this one, I wanted to. I think this one started as like bright red. Yeah, you can still see those. Oh no, it's brown. It was brown.
You had an
And
underpainting of red on that one.
it was no, it's actually brown, and then and then I added different layers of color. I build it up until I find the right color. So what I wanted to do here was to give the dancer and the musician the same weight and
Okay.
the same level, and kind of create the interaction between the two uh, elements of flamenco dance. Still have to solve this problem over here, but that's what I did here. So I took different pictures of those particular movement and the facial expression, and just kind of put them together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and sometimes I have another painting that I'm doing. I had to put away because I kind of got stuck with it. So sometimes it goes fast, and sometimes gets stuck.
Limor, why do you think you get stuck with your paintings?
Sometimes it's just a matter of having a certain idea and it doesn't work when you put it
Yeah.
on canvas. So, and also, whatever else happens in your life at the time, we all have some crazy stuff going on.
I
Uh,
understand.
yeah, but most of the times it's just the complication of the composition. For instance, um, this picture right here, my daughter took in Cambodia.
Okay.
Okay, there's a monkey in here. So my daughter loves to photograph. She got a good camera. I've seen this picture for a long time. I've been to Cambodia too. And I looked at it and I said, I really need to paint it. And I had some ideas of how I wanted to change. And my daughter was cool with it. She said, yes, mom, go ahead and do that. So I have an idea what I wanted to create here, but it didn't work. Some issues didn't work with it. So I took the monk out of it because the monk doesn't represent what I'm thinking and who I am. Just monkhood is, I appreciate it. I just don't know that much about it. So for me to incorporate it in my painting just didn't feel right. So
Yeah.
I decided to put an owl in there, to kind of get that flow in here,
Mm-hmm.
coming in from this kind of valley, going down into the depth, and then coming out here in the light. So I am working on it, but this wall here, it just became kind of blank. So that's what stopped me. Just like, what am I going to do with this wall? Okay, so that's
And
how
you
that.
just you just uh, walked away from it and want to have like a moment of passive inspiration, maybe, where you're not thinking about it, but in the subconscious, it's running, maybe.
Yeah, I thought about it for a long time, but when you put it on the canvas, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and there's that struggle there.
Yeah. So sometimes the ideas come and it's like, okay, I have a picture. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just like that. And then it comes out flowing out.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
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 just,
it's organic. It's just fluid. I get that.
yeah. And I had some other, like a landscape that I did that I started it and it's like, it felt like, okay, I don't know what to do with it. I put it away. I came back to it a couple months later and I, new energy, new ideas. I don't know. It's just, how about you? What, do you have those moments where you're like stuck?
Me, I have a solid habit of working in the morning, and regardless of whether I feel inspired, I just push through it. Like there's days that are not uh, uh, I'm not working at the highest of efficiency. My capacity to produce artwork is slowed down. My thought process is low. Like I'm making bad decisions, but I know that they're occurring, and it's in a positive feedback loop where it just kind of it keeps going. But I eventually end up on top because I'm slowly pushing that rock up, slowly, and so I've been there, but I've set up this habit where I just make work, and some days are fantastic. Other days, not so much. There's days are like, ugh, I do not want to get up and draw, like or paint. There's those days, and but it's just a habit now, and I do feel the I do understand the not having inspiration, and then sometimes it just takes for me working just working through it, working through the mental pain or the struggle that I'm
Right.
having. So I understand completely.
Well,
um
sometimes, I mean, I've done this recently. So I just felt like, you know what, to get involved in something a little bit more complicated, mentally challenging, maybe we need to find I need to find something that is a little bit more just relaxing. So I came up with the idea of just painting small watercolor flowers because,
hmm
watercolor is very kind of fluid and it has
yeah.
its own life and you kind of like, so that's what I did. I painted 12 flowers that are in bloom in the summer. I created this series. Sometimes I did 3 of them in a day. Sometimes I did 1 or 2, depending on what's happening in my life at the moment. So it was a very kind of relaxing. I think that's cool, just doing something that is not so heavy and involving, and it just feels
Yeah,
fun.
like
So
watercolors are I've always said this about watercolors. It's very hard to mess them up. Like just because the way the water for me, like the way the watercolor kind of makes that coffee stain
mhm.
effect. It no matter how you manipulate the watercolor, if you just leave it even in its simplest component, it, it still looks beautiful, right? And
Yeah, that's the thing, to be able to recognize when it's done. That's
Mhm.
another thing. With the watercolor, you kind of have to let it do its thing. Sometimes if you work on it too
Yeah.
much, it becomes muddy. And also, you can't give up too quickly because sometimes in the beginning it doesn't look like much. And
hmm
you just have to keep at it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I know some people find watercolor hard for many years. Me too. I
Yeah.
wouldn't touch watercolor because I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I love it. It's like it's very relaxing. It's more of a crafty thing. I mean, some people get into more, much more deeper into watercolor, but a lot of time it's just kind of a let it flow, let it go and do its thing.
Yeah. Limor, what'd you have for lunch today? Did you have lunch? Come
I
on, you had lunch.
I did. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of little things.
A lot of little things.
Yeah.
Did you like put them on little plates?
No, I ate them over 2 hours.
Oh, so you're just
I'm a muncher. You
you're
go.
grazing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. I had a peach. I had, you know what dragon fruit looks like?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I had dragon fruit, which was really good. I had a peach. I had a banana. I had nuts, and I had a sandwich. So that's 2 hours of eating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so you had like a fruit salad over 2 hours.
Yeah.
You had a
No,
disassembled.
no, a salad is when you mix it all together.
Well, it was disassembled.
Yeah.
It was a disassembled fruit salad, and then you had a sandwich.
Yeah.
What kind of sandwich you have, Limor?
A cheese sandwich with a tomato and lettuce.
So, cheese sandwich, tomato, and lettuce. Limor, just tell me when I'm mispronouncing your name. I won't take offense to it. I do it all the
The
time.
more was good. That's it. You got it right.
I would at one of my jobs, I'll flip my friends like my coworkers' names. Like one person's name's Pete, the other name's Phil, and I'm like, hey Pete, it's Phil. it's stuff like that. So,
No, you got it.
okay, so you had a big lunch over 2 hours. Did you have dinner?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, was it over 2 hours?
No, I had it with my son and my husband. So it was 15 minutes eating, but an hour preparing. You know how that goes.
What kind of dinner did you have?
So we had salmon, spaghetti, and zucchini.
Zucchini. You had salmon.
Yeah.
What how was it cooked?
With butter in the oven and herbs. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of herbs?
I think there's dill and some other stuff. Yeah. Mostly dill. Yeah.
You mentioned that you lived in Israel.
Yeah, I grew up there.
Yeah, from like all childhood or like
Yep.
to like
All
18 or
my,
something, or you stayed there. What's that?
all my childhood, yes.
Uh, till what age did you like leave?
23.
23.
Yeah, I went to the Israeli military.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How was that? What was that like?
Well, first of all, it's mandatory in Israel. So
Hmm.
I was there for 2 years. I was in. I went through officers course, so I was a staff officer, um, and I was there for 2 years. And yeah, it wasn't fun, but everybody does it. Everybody has to go in Israel, so it's mandatory.
Did you get in super good shape?
I know.
No.
No, I screwed up my knees. We that was really long time ago, and that was before they had all these really nice shoes that are comfortable. And we used and they give us these leather shoes that were used by somebody else, and we had to like go on hikes and do all these training and stuff like that. It ruined up my knees. So
I heard about that. Like the military gave like what would the first would it be a private the what's the like the entry level name
yeah, private.
private they would give them like these shoes that had no sole to them or no like cushion, and
Right.
I've heard from other former military what'd you call it like veterans, sorry, uh, past veterans where they're like, yeah, my knees are thrashed.
Yeah.
So you didn't get in the best shape of your life in Israel military, huh? Did they have good food?
The food is a problem because the food they give you in the military is like greasy and tons of carbs. So no, I can't tell you that I was in good shape. I mean, I did a lot of training when I was in training courses, but for the most part, I was in the office, working in the office behind the desk.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not great shape. No.
What were you into art as a child, as a kid?
Yes, actually. My dad is an architect, so he this is something he did since I was born. But I remember my painting in kindergarten that I did, and I
Oh wow.
remember really getting into the painting. It was like a forest scene with a house. I don't know. I don't have the painting anymore, but in my mind, I still have it. And I remember that I really loved it, and everybody thought it was really good. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then when I went to high school, I had a choice to go to the regular local high school or go to a magnet school for the arts. So I chose magnet school for the arts, and since ninth grade, and that was the path I chose. So I did that, and then after the military, I went to a college and I studied ceramic art. So I was a ceramic artist. This is what I teach in high school now. I teach ceramics. And I had my own studio, and I went to shows, and I did that as a ceramic artist. And then I got my teaching certificate for art, and I took these other courses. One of them was painting. And the reason I never liked painting is because I had a teacher in high school that made me feel that I can't paint.
Oh
He
wow.
Yeah, he was talking to us. It was like way over my head. And every painting I did, I threw away because I didn't like. And when I was getting my teaching certificate, I had to take painting classes. And so I got introduced to oil painting and I loved it. So changed my life. And that's why I became a teacher too, because that teacher that made me so miserable in my painting classes in high school, I did not want other people to have that experience.
Like, what did your teacher do to make you miserable? Like, what, like, was it was he
Well,
he or she?
he wasn't talking to our level.
Okay,
He
he was
was,
like talking really
yeah,
high.
and I thought it was only me at the time, but then my mom took classes with him too, as an adult, and she said the same thing. He doesn't. He's a great artist. I've seen his work. I actually have one of his prints at home. He's a great artist, but he wasn't talking to a level. He wasn't explaining it in a language that we could understand. So it was all very theoretical and stuff like that, and it just didn't speak to me. So
Yeah, yeah. The teaching art is very difficult. The more advanced you become, it can be like you're trying to notch down the terms so that the person who you're speaking to understands it. And sometimes you might not dial it back enough, and they're like, negative space, what's that? You know, right?
yeah,
So I understand. So
it's
it wasn't. Sorry, Lamar, go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
So it wasn't necessarily like, was he just like me? He wasn't mean. He was just like, maybe it came off as condescending or stuck up. I don't know.
Okay, so here's an example I remember. He would set up a still life for us
Oh yeah.
to draw. First of all, still life is boring as hell, but he would set up, the still life. He would put all these chairs and sticks. It was so abstract.
Okay.
And I don't know, at high school, abstract is difficult. Kids are not
Uh-huh.
abstract at that age.
Mhm.
So he would talk about angles and the light and the feelings and stuff like that. And we didn't have the basics to understand color and the relationship of color. Like I've been teaching for 19 years now. I've been teaching art for 19 years. And, you know, people don't understand those concepts unless you show them. Color has properties, you're talking about the value of color, you're talking about the intensity of the color, you're talking about the particular color in itself, warm, cool, and stuff like that. So you got to start with the basics before you can start getting into abstract and the relationship and the space, and so that was the problem I was having. It was just I didn't have the basics, and he was going way up above our heads, and it was a
So
problem.
there was no foundation that he gave you to kind of use as a pedestal or a platform or a scaffolding, right? So like, uh, he's right here, and you really need to be knowing like, how do I see these things, and how do I I don't have, I see it, but I don't know how to translate it onto paper.
That's right.
And you're telling me I should be up here, but I don't even know how to take this three-dimensional object and transfer it onto the surface. And he's just like, just do it, right? No, okay.
No, he
I
wasn't.
imagine I imagine a professor like, or a teacher like, why don't you draw the thing that you're seeing on the paper, right?
No, he wasn't
No,
mean. He wasn't mean. He was just speaking in a language that we didn't understand.
yeah,
You know.
and that can be disenchanting as well, I guess. I could see that. You know, and I've had the same thing with professors that when I was in my younger years, where they like, I didn't even know what they wanted. Like, I had like a abstract landscape class, and I started doing abstract landscapes, and the artist, the teacher's like, "That's good. Why don't you do this?" So what do is what can I do now with this? This I have this here. This is completely opposite. This is like a 180 from what I'm doing. I guess I'll try this. Let's see what happens. Uh, so, like, you're giving me way too many things to think about. I can't. There's a
Yeah,
bottleneck.
yeah.
So I get it. What's one really fond memory that you had as a child, be it through art or just in general?
Fun memory. Jeez. Oh, I don't know. It isn't not necessarily art. I remember when I was 16, I went abroad. I lived in Israel, and I finally got to travel
Mhm.
overseas. So I got in a group of teenagers, and I don't remember how many of us. And we traveled through like maybe 5 different countries in Europe, and we camped. Like a campground near the city. And I remember Florence in Italy was our favorite because of all the art that they have
Yeah.
there everywhere. And it's, David, the sculpture of David, and we learned about it in art school, of course, the Renaissance and all the
Yeah.
masters and stuff like that. So, and also aside from being a beautiful city and all the sculptures everywhere and the art everywhere, they had all these nightclubs and all these Italian men. So,
What was the cool nightclubs you went to in when you were 16 in Florence, Italy?
oh gosh, I do not remember. It was
Mm.
so gosh, it's so long ago.
Oh, you couldn't remember because it was a nightclub, or you don't remember because it was long ago, or a mixture of both?
Probably both, yeah. And then we get to Germany, and hey, let's go to these beer houses, and it's like, yes, sure, let's go to beer houses. Like, so we get these gigantic, big, I don't know, half a gallon of beer, and then this mug, and you sit there and say, oh, you're drinking with a straw. It's like, yeah, I'm 16 years old. I'm drinking beer with a straw. You can imagine. Um,
Their beer is higher alcohol content there, isn't it?
I
I,
don't
I
know, but yeah, I could not stand straight walking out of there. It was
oh my goodness, that's a pretty good memory. 5 countries, huh? How long was the travel? How many?
I
It
think it
was a
was
couple weeks, month,
like 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks, and you went to 5 countries.
Yeah, 5 European countries. Yeah,
How'd you travel? Did you
it was a
bus?
bus. It was a bus.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we were in Germany, England, France, uh, um, Italy, and maybe one more. Belgium, not sure. Anyway, it was great. It was very nice. Did you leave the country?
Have I left the country before?
Uh-huh.
I think I've went to Singapore.
Oh, cool. Do you
I
think?
was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go any. I haven't gone all these fancy countries. I've been Yeah, I haven't traveled. I don't travel a lot. That's amazing though. That's 5 countries in 3 weeks, 16, a gallon of beer. Uh, so you said you were was it you were a dancer or you were a flamingo dancer? Is it
No,
flamenco?
I never did flamenco. I did belly dancing. I did modern dance,
Hmm.
ballet. Um, I took some African dance and Latin dance. So
Cool.
I tried ballroom dance with my husband. That didn't go very well.
Yeah. And how's your knees taking that? Do you still dance at all or anything?
I don't do like serious dancing. Every once in a while, we have some kind of a thing, but no, my knees are fine. My knees got ruined in the military, but not, yeah,
They've
yeah,
gotten better.
yeah. So I do have a belly dancer painting that I did too. So
Awesome.
yeah. but I did do belly dancing here in the neighborhood. We had our swim team had like a fundraiser, so they had like a um, like what do they call it?
Charity?
Yeah, it was a charity, but they have
Uh,
like the dog show thing. So they did like the adults thing,
they had
uh,
dog shows?
the gong show. You know the gong show?
The Gong Show.
Yeah, it's an old thing where people perform and it's a competition thingy. Anyway, so people in the neighborhood signed up. The adults in the neighborhood signed up. Um, and my husband is a musician, so I said, "Why don't you sign up? You know, go perform. You do this anyway. Why don't you just do this for fun in the neighborhood as a competition? Blah blah blah." And he said, "Well, if you're going to do belly dancing, I'll do that."
Ha.
And I'm like, "Well, you know, I just took a course in belly dancing. It's not like I'm proficient. I've seen belly dancers because I'm
Yeah.
in the Middle East." So I said, so he said, "No, you have to. You know, I'm signing you up." So he signed me up, and I'm like, "Oh crap, I need to get some music." So I downloaded some belly dancing song music and tried to put something together like in 2 days. And I got some costume, you know, with all the bells and the stuff, you know, the jingles and things like that. And so the night there, it's like all my neighbors are there, and I have to go there, you know, like exposed, you know, wearing like this thin skirt and just like a bra thingy, and okay, whatever. I'm just gonna do this. I drank enough, and so I went out there and did my thing, and I won first place. So
Wow. That like a that seems like a little unfair on your husband's side because he's a professional. He's like a really proficient with as a musician, and you're like, I took a couple days of this dancing course, right? That's pretty cool. What kind of a instrument does your husband play?
keyboard,
Keyboard?
yeah.
Yeah. What electric keyboard? Is that what that is?
Yeah, he's been playing since he was a teenager, and since I've known him, he's been in like 5 or 6 different bands.
Yeah.
The current band, they play Rolling Stones music, so they're a Rolling Stone cover band. So,
Awesome. And they does he play like bars or like concert halls or something?
yeah, local bars, but you know they're all canceled on them. So yeah,
So
that,
no like roadhouse scenes.
yeah, kind of yeah. Roadhouse. Yeah,
Uh,
so I did some portraits of musicians. I did a portrait of all of his band, um, and I did a Bruce Springsteen portrait. My kid said, "Hey, let's do this for Dad for Father's Day," because he's a Bruce Springsteen fan. He's from New Jersey, so he's a Bruce Springsteen fan. So I said, "Okay, we'll do a Bruce Springsteen thing," and then I did Little Richard that passed away just a few months ago. So I did a portrait of Little Richard as well. So
do you
I
have
love.
those around you?
I do. Let me get it. I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
you can talk about that one. Let's talk about it. Oh no, you're out of the way. Well, anyways, for those that are viewing, I am interviewing Limor Dekel, and we are just having a discussion about her work and things about things
I'm
that she's
back.
interested in and some
Here I
hobbies.
am.
Hey there.
I'm back.
All right. What do you have there?
Well, this is covered in plastic, but you can see Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, so that's one of your prints that you have available on your website, yeah?
Yeah, that's one of the prints. It's a metal print. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of them. They're nice.
Very nice. I always tell people to get them because you don't need framing. And
Yeah, they got the float mount.
yeah, and Little Richard.
Little Richard. And talk about this one a little bit. What did you have any troubles with it?
No, that's
No?
one of those. I mean, to me, portraits are fairly straightforward. You gotta create an image of the person and
Capture a likeness?
the likeness, and also use the colors that match what the person represents.
Mm-hmm.
So Sometimes I'm a little bit more free with the brush strokes because, for instance, he was like very outgoing and always very moving and jumping, and so I wanted to get that very active kind of personality in a portrait. Um,
So it looks like you used a palette knife in some of those areas. Is that true?
yes, a little bit in the hair. I wanted to get that roughness.
Yeah,
And
you kind of scumbled it up,
yes, a little
and
bit.
the yellow in the hair to echo
Yes,
the suit,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was a on purpose, yes?
Yes, yes. I left it kind of raw.
Okay. So
Yeah.
why the yellow on the hair there?
Um, to get contrast and to get a little bit more liveliness
Uh huh.
and energy in here. Um, yeah,
I would I like that because you're using the yellow to kind of unify the composition a little bit because
yeah,
now the suit kind of connects with the hair and then we have that connection between the whole composition. So
right.
there's a
Unity.
color balance there.
Yeah.
Um, and then you looks like you got like some what is that? Prussian blue? I don't know what blue that is. Phthalo? I only know a couple blues.
No, I think this is an ultramarine
Ultramarine,
or cobalt, maybe cobalt. No, no.
cobalt. Yeah, like I think phthalo is a little greenish. Maybe.
Yeah, I love fellow. Yeah, I love fellow. Yeah, see, like fellow.
Oh, that's a nice painting. Talk about that one. You got
Well, this
paintings everywhere. They're just all on the ground.
yeah, this one that's an easy one for someone small. And okay, so my paintings are reflection of my experiences and my life. So back in what is it, December, my father-in-law died. And after he died, this bird. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit. My father-in-law and I were not didn't get along very well, so he didn't like me very much. Not a surprise. Uh, um, but after he died, um, this cardinal kept tapping on the window on one side of the house, and everywhere I went, it just kept. There's a couple of them. They just kept tapping on the windows. It's like on that one side of the house, there's like four different windows. They kept tapping on it in the morning, in the evening, and like nothing I did changed it. They just kept going at it all through March and April.
Hmm.
And then I'm just like, this is driving me crazy. Now I'm home all day long because I'm not working.
Hmm.
And that bird just wouldn't stop. It's like everywhere I went, it's just going at it. So I finally got some film and covered the window on the outside, and it doesn't see its reflection. So cardinals are very territorial. And when they see their reflection, um, they think it's another bird and they just go at it. But the funny thing is, they even go into the mirrors of the car, so that they have to be in a certain angle to see themselves in the car window and the car mirror. It's like I don't think it's an accidental. I think they go for it on purpose.
Hmm.
So this one I called the Curious Cardinal. So once I found the right image, that's it. So it was boom. Took me, I don't know, 2 3 hours. I was done.
Wow, you're a fast painter. I'm a slow painter. I used to be a fast painter, but not anymore. I don't know what happened. I need to get back to fast painting. Um, that reminds me that when you're talking about cardinals, I was because you're talking about they're very territorial. They'll even hit mirrors or windows that they can see the reflection. That I had that happen a while back, and I was like, "What is going on with this cardinal?" And just like ramming into the wall, the window. It's like running into it, pecking at it. I was like,
Yeah.
"This darn bird has been pecking on the window for the past week." I don't know what to say. My wife thought like it was like a home bird, like a caged bird that was like thought it was its house or something. I don't know
Mhm.
what she was thinking. I wasn't thinking that. I thought it was weird. Uh, but it did that for days on end. It was pretty interesting. That makes sense though. That now that I heard that, now that I know, whenever birds start pecking on windows, they're just picking a fight with themselves.
Yep, yep. I thought it was my father-in-law, just coming back to annoy me. Just let him have it, you know?
This is
He's,
the last argument, right?
yeah, yeah. Um,
Um, so go ahead, Limor.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
So you are a teacher and you are not working right now because of the circumstances going on right now.
No, it's summer. I'm going back to work in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, okay. And what's that going to be like for you?
Ah, um,
Cringe, right? Oh yeah, I'm going through it too. I'm going through it too. I'm going through so much. I'm like, there's a lot I have to do. I don't know if I have enough time. I get it. Go ahead.
we're trying to figure this out. They told us our county said 6 months or the first semester you're working from home. So everybody's like, well, we have these little Chromebooks. We're supposed to be Zooming with our students. I don't know, 4 classes a day, um, every other day. So we're rotating classes. So basically, teaching in front of the computer. So we're saying, okay, so for art, we're supposed to be teaching them the content area that they signed up for. So I'm teaching ceramics or sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have material supplies, right? How are they going to do that? What's about digital art? Um, there's Chromebooks are not really designed to be used for making art. So what kind of software are they going to use? Um, with photography, what kind of cameras are they going to be using? What kind of software are they going to use for photography? There's all these questions everybody's asking, and we're supposed to be starting teaching in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a mad rush to figure out how that's going to work, right?
Yeah, and all those teachers that have little kids.
Yeah.
Um,
The information is changing so quick that you don't know, you don't want to be too invested in some of the stuff because then all of a sudden they're like, wait, we're no longer doing that. We're doing this. Scrap that idea. All that work you just did, it's nothing. Put that in the trash. And then you put it in the trash and they start working this other thing. Like, no, we're not doing that. Get back, pull that stuff out of the trash that you had and start working with this. Yeah, it's going to
I
be
learned.
interesting.
I learned not to plan too far in advance, not to invest in too many things because with education, things change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the gist. You try to stay on top of things. But yeah, that's what I tell my other teachers is that just kind of wrap your head around what's going to happen. Don't plan too much. It's like, yeah, it stresses you out, and there's no point. There's too many unknowns, and the more unknowns you have, the more stress you get because you don't know what's going to happen.
Limor, what do you do to regulate your stress?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta close the door. I don't know if you can hear it.
There's music.
Yes, my husband is playing. Um, Regulate my stress. I haven't been very good at it recently. When I
Bottle
first,
of wine.
yeah, in March when they sent us home to teach from home and all this stuff was going on, I was so stressed I couldn't even think straight,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to learn, all this marketing stuff that we're doing, and to put everything to. I just launched my website in March.
Congratulations.
Well, when did you launch yours?
I've had it for a while, but I just now started having success on it,
Oh,
and
good.
I think it has to do with the fact that since for a brief moment I had like 5,000% more time on my hands, and I was able to initiate a lot more stuff and to actually make a lot more work. Nor like if you put me in a position where I don't have to work anywhere and I just have to make artwork, I will crank out a lot. But
Yeah.
when for me, I have 3 jobs. I have 3 employers, right? And so like I'm already stretched real thin.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was able just to go like just like a train, steam train. Like they all the weight was released behind me. I had like 5 miles of uh, train. What are they called? Well, tracks, not tracks, but like the separate train carts. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
what they call. Uh, but I had like 5 miles there, and then they're like, guess what? It's just the train and the engine. Boom, go. And then I started having a bunch of sales. Um, and also the art market, the marketing thing's really great. It's just it can be very overwhelming, and I already do a lot of what they say. I don't do the newsletters so much. Um, I find that I don't know. I don't do the newsletters that much. I try to do like one a month, maybe. Sometimes I do two. It's very hard for me to do three because I have a very busy like
Yeah.
schedule,
Yeah.
and you
So
got to type the script out. And I'm like, this script, like I'm typing this up. Like I'm terrible at writing,
yeah.
so there's I'll type it up, and all of a sudden I'll notice that there will be a bunch of typos, and I'll edit them, and then I send it out, and then later on, like, oh, there's even more like typos. Um, and it is what it is. And but yeah, it's a lot of work. And being an artist is a lot more work than people know. You know,
Oh yeah, I know.
it's very it can be an intense thing because you're the CEO, you're the marketer, you're the secretary,
You're
you're
the creator.
the
Yeah.
delivery person, like delivery man. You're the creator. You're a producer. All that stuff. And uh, let's be honest. You know, everyone when you have that, they all hire out one person to do that job because you can't do all those jobs. You can do them, but not well, right? You can do them like amateur, mediocre, maybe pretty good, and you're going to get better each time. Like I've gotten better through time, but I've like two steps forward, one step
Yeah.
back, you know.
Yeah.
But that's awesome that you got
So
your website
yeah,
launched.
so I kind of, it was all new to me because although I've been in the arts for so long, I never really actually tried to sell. I did when I was a ceramic artist. I used to go to shows, and I did this quite intensely, but that's all I did.
Yeah,
Um, so when I see people are doing it, have kids, and have a family and have a job and try to run a business, that's like insane. I don't
yeah,
know how they do it. I mean that's very difficult.
it
Um,
is.
but for me, when they sent us home in March, I have never painted so much in my life. That was like the only time I could just escape this craziness. That it was really
Yeah,
crazy. Everybody was afraid. We didn't know what's going to happen. So I painted so much, and it's like it started going in the right direction. But now I'm going back to work. I don't know what's going to happen. And this marketing thing just took so much out of me, and learning and putting the website together. And it was like this blur. It was like 2 months of just craziness and blur. Um,
yeah,
just learning all this new stuff. And I just realized how difficult it is to learn things alone when you don't have somebody next to you who can,
yeah,
yeah, you should do this or you should do this. Both my kids, my adult kids were home, and I can ask them for, hey, how do you use Instagram? How do you open an account with Instagram? How do you do this, all this and this and this? They were like, Mom, this is so simple. I said, yes, but I don't know how to do it. So opening business account, and Mailchimp, and all these other things that you need to do. It's like
yeah,
it's overwhelming. My God. And that's what the kids need to do. They have to learn 7 periods a day, stuff that is new, and there is nobody to ask. That is very difficult.
yeah. Mailchimp is something that, like you gotta sync it up with everything. It can be
Oh
a
my
drag.
God. And running ads and doing all those things and opening a shipping account, and a credit card account, and oh my God, it was just so much work.
Oh my gosh, it's easy peasy. You can do it in your sleep. You should have just hired your kids to do it for you. They'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, could you? What's one of your kids' names?
Michelle and Ilan.
Michelle, could you make me an Instagram account? Already did. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I was me trying to make a weird, silly act, but it didn't work out. Sorry. Uh,
No, she so
um,
she did some video for me. We did,
yeah,
and what she was really good at, she was like pushing me to do the things that I was afraid to do. So, doing that live art show thing that we're doing now on a regular basis. When when this came up the first time, I had a panic attack. I was like, "What? No way! I'm not doing this. There's no way." And I'm thinking to myself, I
it's
get in front
scary.
of my classroom every day in front of
Yeah,
30 kids and I deliver stuff, but I could not get myself stand in front of a machine with a little camera and sell my work. I
yeah.
couldn't do it. I did it eventually, but yeah, think about it. Have you
I,
done this?
what's that?
Have you done it yet?
Done what? Lives?
Live show, art show.
I don't do live art shows, but I do live stream
Yeah,
frequently, and I do live stream me drawing sometimes.
yeah.
So I
Okay.
do a lot. But I don't do I didn't do like a live gallery show, um, because to me I already kind of do that anyways, and it's just another thing for me to like have to juggle. I'd like to if I could like maybe allocate a time for it, right? I would like to have like, all right, folks, get your wine and cheese and get some beer. We're going to do an art show. Uh,
You're
I'm
doing
talking
well.
like I'm
This
from
is
the
great.
South, but I'm not. We're
You're
going to
doing
do an art show. Bring out your beer. I got my keg, and I'm going to call my friend, and he's going to play banjo, and he's going to, diddly diddly did, and he's going to stand right next to me. I'm going to show you some work. No, I think I've done something kind of like that a couple times on Instagram, where I'd like, and I'd stop what I'm doing and I talk about my work, or I just do like an update where I'd show my work and like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now. Not much to say.
Yeah.
Here it is. Um, so it wasn't really presentable, or like, because most of the time I'm just getting done painting, and I'm like, I gotta do something real quick before and get up and make breakfast before everyone gets up. So I didn't really. It was really rushed. It's not like I'm in the evening where I'm like, well, let's do. I'm wearing a robe, a nice red robe with a what's it called, a tobacco pipe.
Mhm.
I should get a corn pipe. A corn, is it like a corn cob tobacco
Yeah,
pipe?
yeah.
Just come out there and put bubbles in it and his low. That'd be fun. No, I have not done an art show, but I have done other things.
Oh,
Um,
like what?
how'd yours go?
What's that?
How did yours go?
Um, well, I did them.
You did them, and that's all you can ask for, right?
I did go to three of them. One of them was with other uh, four artists. So yeah, we got together and we did like each one of us did like a 10-15 minutes thing. So it was the four of us, and it was the five of us, and it was way too much work for the amount of time that we actually did the show. Just so we had to coordinate it, and everybody, you know how it is. Everybody has ideas, and you spend the time talking about it and doing this and doing that and doing that and doing that. And it's like if you do it just by yourself, it's way less work, way less time.
There's got to be
So
some coordination. Like I don't know how that worked. Were you like jumping, like, and here's Tim. Tim, you have it, right? And then
no,
like
we did, yeah, we did. Yeah, everybody, we had an order, so we went in order. We used StreamYard, and we did it that way. So we took turns.
okay.
So I sold a couple of pieces, one before, one after, or something like that. But I don't know about these art shows if they're that effective. I mean, I'm doing them because I don't know what else to do. I'm not that. I would prefer to go to art shows, honest to God. Actually going to art show. I did this before, and it's fun to interact with people. It's not fun when it's raining or windy, or your
Yeah.
booth get knocked over, or it's hot as hell. But at least you're out there talking to people. Um, this online market is tough. Not
How
talking to
many you
people.
sold some paintings on your live art show?
Um, I did before, but I actually sold more out in front of my house. I actually literally did art show right at the corner. I live in the corner of the neighborhood, and the community pool is right across the street. So a couple times I just took my art and stuck it outside,
Uh-huh.
and as invited some people over, and the people who walked by saw it and were like, "Hey, I really like it." And yeah, I sold more work this way to the neighbors or other people than I am that the originals than I did, the art shows online. So go
That's
figure.
good. That's real good. Well, did you sold some online, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So and you just opened, so that's pretty good, right?
Okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm patient. What can I do? Some days I'm not patient, but most of the time, I'm patient. I just the marketing part of all this is a killer. I sometimes feel like, look, I'm an artist. I don't want to do all this marketing, but you know how it goes. If you don't do it, you don't sell.
Yeah, no one's gonna know who you are, you know.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, so you sold some during that group show.
Yeah, but it was because of the thing I did right in front of my house. People who
Oh,
told me.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so there's a segue to it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. How
So
many pieces did you sell?
what in the art show?
Yeah.
I only offered four, and I think I sold two of them.
Wow.
One
50%.
before and one after. So,
So did you make like $30,000?
oh yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm really
30K.
not
Wow.
looking for work anymore.
What's
Anything
that?
I sell at this point, anything I sell, I'm just happy with. So,
Great.
uh,
It's in a house and people view it and people appreciate it, you
yeah.
know?
I see
Um
you have your shirts and had like your artwork on it, right?
yeah, this is like my only shirt.
Oh, so you're not selling shirts, are you?
Oh, I was I don't have it available yet at the moment. I probably should. Um
Are
whatever.
you gonna do
Um
merchandising on your
am
website?
I merchandising
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
yeah, I got hats, I got shirts, I got shoes, I got a Matt Pearson cereal, I got Matt Pearson bread,
What?
Pearson flakes. They got nine essential vitamins and minerals to start your day off great.
That's great.
No,
No,
I
seriously.
took it down. It's going to be up soon. I'm working on something else at the moment.
Yeah. How do you feel about merchandising?
Merchandising, like merch, like my own merch,
Uh-huh.
another avenue stream, like another revenue stream.
Hmm.
You know, um, the what as much as I like to be a purist, right, where I want to sell just my own artwork, right? Once I sell that artwork, I only make one profit off it. Right? I don't make anything
Right.
else after that. And
You
there
can
can be,
sell prints. You can
huh?
sell prints. You can sell prints.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought you were talking about like I didn't think you were talking about prints. I thought you were talking about just like
No, not just
merchandising.
walls. No.
Yeah, I don't mind it. We'll see.
Yeah. I think that some art lends itself to put the art on merchandise like
Yeah.
t-shirts and stuff. I think your some of your food and your kind of comics things, I
Yeah.
think perfect for t-shirts and things like that.
I'm hoping to get towards that. Right now, I got so many portraits, it's not even funny.
Portraits? Yeah.
I got a whole year's left worth of portraits. I don't even know when I'm going to be done.
Commissions, you mean?
Oh yeah, I got that many.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great and stressful.
You're doing them digitally or you're doing them on canvas?
Digitally, all digitally.
Okay.
I started out doing them simply so I can learn how to do them, and now that I got pretty good at them, and so because I got really good at them, the demand's really high. So I had to uh, stop taking in more commissions because it became like, how long's the wait? 3 months? I don't know. It's
That's
like I
good.
don't even know anymore. They take me a long time to do. Uh, and I feel really bad. I want to do them faster, but like I get faster, but then I get better, and so like I slow down a bit because the detail level's gone up, and then I get a little bit faster again, and
Mhm.
then I learn a little bit more, and it slows me down, and I get faster, and I learn a
Do
bit
you
more.
print?
So
Do you sell them as print or do you give it to them the digital file?
I give them the the file, and then if they like, I can give them print. I offer that afterwards. You know.
Yeah, because I did some pets too. I did a few, like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It's like portraits of people. It has the personality of the dog and the colors and the
Yeah.
likelihood. It's easier than people, I think, because dogs don't have to be so, precise. Um, but yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I did I think I told you I did a portrait of my daughter's friend. He just like, hey, can your mom paint a portrait for me? And because that person is in Cambodia, I did it digitally so I can send it to them. And it's so much easier than on canvas. It's cleaner, it's cheaper, and I think it's easier to do on.
Yeah. I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
I want to get to the point where I can do it, be almost like a mobile artist, where I don't have to carry anything but like a maybe an iPad or
Yeah.
a tablet that is a computer, like a computer tablet, and
Hmm.
just draw on that, right? And like, hey, I just like, you work? Yeah, I work. I'm working on some work right now. I'm doing some portraits, and then call it a day. I think that's going to be a pretty good goal to kind of get to the point where I don't have to carry my canvases with me, you know.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
miss it? Do you miss working on canvas though if you do so much digital?
uh, as soon as I get caught up with these portraits, I'm going to limit the amount that I take. So instead of taking an infinite amount, I'm just going to take four, and then I'm going to probably allocate some time to do some traditional work because I kind of miss it, you know.
If you're overwhelmed, send them my way.
Well, they've already paid.
I see.
They've already prepaid, and I'm just I'm just uh doing them at 1 week at a time, you know.
Yeah. No.
So what else you want to talk about? You got anything else interesting about your work? Because we kind of went into tangents here.
Well, about my work, uh, I told you I did some watercolor. So I worked with watercolor as well as acrylic. But because of the way I work, acrylic seemed to be more of goes along with my personality. So I've done some series like summer. We're doing the summer thing now. So I did a windsurfing. I did like 3 windsurfing paintings because I used to windsurf. So when we get stuck at home here and can't go anywhere, you let your mind go to where you want to be.
So Limor, you when I asked you to do this live
So
stream, you had a painting in mind that you really wanted to go down a little bit more in depth. Have we covered enough of it, or did you only kind of gloss
yeah,
over
I
it?
mean, no, yes, we did. Yeah,
Is
we
it almost done?
this one. What do
Yeah,
you think? What do you think? Can you see? I think
I see it. What do I think?
This
I don't know
area,
if
this
I
area,
don't know if the person in the background is necessary.
this guy.
Yeah.
Um, it might be that I need to tone it down a little bit. But without him, I felt like, first of all, it's kind of flat, doesn't have that much depth,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it also gives it more of a like odd numbers always feel more comfortable to me than
Okay.
even numbers.
Yeah, I get that.
And then once I put the details of the chair here a little bit more, not details, it's gonna be more mimicking this. So, see what I'm saying? I don't
That's
know.
all I had to really say. I didn't know if that
Yeah.
the person in the shadow was necessary, unless that was like a narrative choice for you. Like, is that person like an observer?
No, he's a drummer.
Oh,
Uh,
he's a drummer.
yeah,
From
maybe.
afar, he looks like from afar. Limor looks like a dude sitting back. Uh,
You see it?
yeah, I see it.
Okay.
From afar, though, what it looked like to me was a guy sitting back wearing shades, and
Uh,
he had his legs crossed,
yeah.
and like it looked like he was leaning like this, and he had a cigarette in his hand, and like there, right on his right arm was
Oh,
like
okay.
an ashtray.
Hey, a whole different story.
Yeah, I thought it was some person just like he's just observing the dance, and he's
Yeah,
maybe he's in a deep trance, and he's
yeah.
just smoking a like a cigarette, and he's ashing it in this old like 1950s ashtray or something, or
My goodness, you spin it into like a really complete.
well, because from afar it really does look like that. I
Yeah,
thought like, who's that dude in the background staring at these people in the foreground? That's what I was thinking.
yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And so, why'd you choose to do what you use acrylic? Yes.
Yes.
And you said when you were introduced to oils that you loved it. Why? What made you transition to acrylic?
Um, the the chemicals you need to use in oil. I mean, I love the way oil feels. But before that, I only painted with tempera paint or gouache. I never really painted with the more professional paints. So the oil has this nice feel to it. Um, so the only problem I have with oil is the chemicals that you got to use with it. So it kind of
Did
I don't
you
the
to
smell.
dilute it?
Yeah, the cleaner, the turpentine or whatever they're called.
Well, there's some really good paint thinners out there now that are getting to be really green. Like they're they're not like it's not like odorless mineral spirits, you know.
Yeah, they're oil paints that are water based.
Oh, you were using temper oil paints, but you were still using odorless mineral spirits, right?
Yes.
But like they've upped in
Yes,
speed.
I
Like they've
know.
got I think it's called like Gamsol Light or something. It's but it's really expensive,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be as pure as it can be without and still being able to function, do its function. But like it's not. I'm not saying. Don't quote me on this. I don't know how toxic it is or how non-toxic it is. But like they've upped the game, and it's gotten the toxicity for these some of these chemicals have gotten less and less through time. But you're gonna pay for it. Like I think I have some. I think it's like almost $60 for a gallon.
Wow. Well,
You know,
I have
but
a
it's
friend
worth it.
who I have a friend who uses oil paints that are water based. So instead, they're oil paints, but uses water to clean and dilute. So maybe I'll try that. But I don't mind acrylic. I mean, I know they dry fast, and when I did plein air painting outside, painting with acrylic was just not the thing. It dried so fast. You go out
Oh
in the sun.
wow. You can you can buy acrylic mediums that prolong the dry time. Have you tried that?
No, I'm okay. I mean, I don't do plein air, so I did a workshop and I realized why all the masters always use oil paint.
Yeah,
So
they can just plop it on their palette and leave it there for a month, and then come back to it, and it's like it'll have like a little bitty skin on top. They just peel
exactly,
that off, and then they're ready to go.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So and it works really well for plein air. It works really well for plein air because it also like there's it becomes like a paste that sticks onto the surface.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
it's like a impasto. It's like a glop of glue essentially, and it just stays on the palette. You can turn it upside down, won't fall over unless you make it really viscous.
Exactly.
But otherwise, it's just stuck there. It's like really dense hair gel. All right.
You have some interesting food related stuff. What's
Oh yeah, I haven't done those in a while. I like burgers. I used to if we want to go down that rabbit hole, I will eat maybe a burger once a month, maybe every 2 months, maybe every 3 months. I don't know. I think I had a chicken sandwich recently. I've had a chicken sandwich before I even had a burger recently. So like, I used to be really heavy, and now I'm not so heavy. And I blame the burgers.
the burger? Well,
Or
Tebow. You know Wayne Tebow, right? The artist.
Wayne Tebow, yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of my I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
I don't love him. I don't love him.
So
Love him. I
yeah,
love his
his
work.
food looked so yummy.
Yeah, he does great food. The cakes and
Ice
the
cream.
oh yeah, the bubble gum, like the displays. He has a he's a really interesting guy. Like his story is really interesting.
Right.
The way he
I think he's still around. Lives in California, I think.
yeah, very good artist.
Where do you
Um,
live, by the way?
huh?
Where do you live?
Oh, I live in Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm in Maryland.
awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a very good artist. I would like to talk to him and see what he has to say, but
He
if he,
teaches. I think he
huh?
teaches. I think he teaches art in
Yeah. I should
California.
just send him a DM and see what happens.
Yeah, why not? Send
Yeah,
him.
he probably those artists that you don't that are really well known are not really well known on social media, and you
Right.
might be able to get a response from them.
One of the things I did with my students in school shortly before we got dismissed um, was doing portraits in clay, busts. So I wanted to do one with my students, so I decided I'm going to do one. I've done busts before, but this one I just decided, you know what? I am going to do a bust of somebody whom I admire, and I'm willing to spend hours working on their bust. So I decided I'm going to do one of Meryl Streep because I think she's a really good actress. I wanted to do a female because I did a male before. So I tried. I decided I'm going to work from 2D to 3D because here I'm working from 2D from picture from 2D to 2D, not usually from 2D to 3D. So I did it. I did a bust of Meryl Streep in stoneware, and I fired it. It came out good. I was really surprised myself. So some people say, "Hey, why don't you ask her or sell it to her?" I said, "I don't think she'd be interested, or I don't think she'd be even respond." So there is like a group, Meryl Streep fans, and I even put the picture up there. I never got any response from anybody. So it's the way it is.
So you can you take a photo of it on Instagram, you take a quick shot of it, and then you tag Meryl Streep on all her platforms and see what happens. Just see what happens, right?
Yeah, I actually have a video of it, like 3D, like I'm turning, and I'll do that. Hey, why not? I'll give it a shot.
I mean, everyone's tagging all these celebrities, anyways. You might win the lottery.
I don't know. I just did it for fun, and I was like, I was kind of happy with myself because I've never actually took it 2D and made it into 3D, and it looked like her. So uh, we'll see.
So,
I'll
any words of advice? Any closing words of advice for artists, for just life in general? Do you have a a like a what would you call it? A life, uh, not a guideline, but like a the
yeah,
words escaping me.
I
Uh,
understand. Um,
yeah.
I've been teaching art all these years, and I see different people doing different things. People that do art very different than me. Um, some people do art for different reasons. Some people are making art just to sell it. Some people making art because it makes them feel good, and they hope that other people connect with their art. So as long as you're doing something that makes you feel good, that you're making art that makes you feel like, wow, I really like to do that, just continue doing that. And for many years, I stopped myself from doing art because I thought I wasn't good enough. My art is, I'm very critical on myself. Just,
Yeah, most are.
yeah, and especially in art, you set yourself a bar is this high, and
Hmm.
everything you do is not good enough. So you just, what's the point? And you create your own world in your art. So you kind of have to give yourself a break and say, I'm going to do it the way I want to, and it's okay. When I started painting, and this feeling of there's no teacher that tells me the painting is good or not good, and I can just free myself from thinking that I'm not good enough. It was just it gave me that freedom to do this. Just put the color out there. It doesn't have to match anything other than what I wanted to match. So you kind of go out there and do it. There's a great book, and I don't remember the name of it, that I read last summer about why how you can release yourself from this ailment that you think you're not good enough. You
Hmm.
just have to remember that this is what you are and what you set up. I mean, I gotta look at the book, but um, it's you gotta do what makes you feel good because art is for you and you're creating it, and this is what comes in your head in a visual form. You know, so for whatever reason, if it makes you happy, do it that way. And I was a couple years ago wanted to learn watercolor because I told you I didn't feel that I am good at it, but I'm teaching my students watercolor. I felt like I need to do better at it. So I signed up for a class, and the teacher was a watercolorist. I'm a teacher too. I'm an experienced teacher. I'm in the class and I'm a teacher too. And he's doing his thing, and I'm going home and I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. And he's talking about it was a multi-level uh, students. So it was from beginner to advanced. So I have all the knowledge on composition and all this and things, but I don't have the experience with the media. So I was very critical of myself. I said I should know better how to paint because I'm teaching it. I couldn't get myself to do anything, and I hated everything I did, and I was so miserable. Um, until I realized that the medium requires certain steps. Watercolor, you can't put too many layers. You
Hmm.
can't cover up. So when I realized is that it wasn't me, it's just a process that has to be thought in a different way. is what's stopping me. And I was miserable, and I didn't give up, and eventually I got it, and I was able to enjoy it. So, you got to give yourself a break as an
Yeah.
artist. You gotta know that the limitation is what you put in there, and if you make it very hard on yourself, you may not end up where you want to be. So that's it. It's a long process to get there, but everybody has to find their truth.
Limor, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to speak with me about your art, about about some parts of your personal life. That was really, really nice. I really appreciate it. Um, where can people find you? I think I have the tags, but don't feel free to kind of just, state out loud, like visit my website at this,
My
you know.
website is www.limordekel.com. LIMORDEKEL.com. As simple as it gets.
All right.
And I appreciate you giving this opportunity.
Well,
And
thank you for contacting me really quickly. I appreciate it.
no, I'm
Uh,
always up for doing something different and new. That's what life is all about.
all right. Well, have a wonderful night, Limor.
Thank
Take
you.
care. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And I hope your daughter grows up to be an artist too.
Oh no, man, she'll embarrass me. She'll be too good.
No, no, no. My dad is an artist. My mom's an artist. And, they're very proud of what I do. And I'm very grateful for giving me this opportunity. So, anyway,
Yes.
thank you so much, Matt. Appreciate it.
All right. Goodbye.
You have a nice evening.
Will do.